What is up, everybody? Nikki here, back for as many reviews as possible, giving a little bit of a female perspective to something that I know that Joel has talked about in the past, but I'm really excited to talk about it because I am going to review the Under Armour Tribase Reign 2s. Now, as you can see, these are hella dirty, and the reason for that is because I have been wearing them pretty much for every workout ever since I got them a few months ago. So here's a backstory. So in January, I was invited to the Under Armour Human Performance Summit. It's actually where I had a chance to meet Joel. When we were there, we learned a whole bunch about Under Armour's new technologies and all the new things that they were developing. We got a chance to try them out. We also got a chance to try out a whole bunch of other things. I know you've heard me talk about their innovation in sports bras in the past and other things as well. So I got them back in January, wore them a little bit, didn't really think much of it, and then I ended up getting a new pair, the updated colorway, a few months ago, and that's when I really decided to give them another shot. And if I can be totally honest, they fit completely differently from a lot of the other CrossFit shoes that I've tried that are out there. So that's why I thought it was important to sort of give my perspective as a CrossFitter and specifically as a lady when it comes to giving these a shot. Okay, first things first, let's talk about fit. I have really narrow feet, like really narrow. Can you see how narrow? And here's the thing, fit is so personal. Not every lady has a narrow foot, but a lot of women I know have trouble finding athletic shoes that fit well because they are made so very much for a wider foot, or they're a men's wide kind of a size that is then just sort of like doubled over into a female size, and that just doesn't work well for everyone. So the biggest thing that I was excited about when it came to this shoe is that it fit my narrow foot really well, much better than most of the other shoes I've tried on before. I typically have a little bit of a problem when it comes to a super roomy toe box. So like, yeah, I wear nanos and I've had like every iteration ever since the 2s, and it's not really a problem, but I have to tie the laces super tight or I can feel my toes wiggling around in the front of the toe box. Same for a lot of the other brands on the market. But with these ones, I found that my foot slipped right in, almost like a sock, and they were narrow enough to accompany the narrowness of my foot without necessarily needing me to pull the laces super, super tight. At the end of the day, I don't think that if you have a normal or even slightly wider foot that it would be a problem. It's more that it just accommodates a narrow foot really well. If you're a female and you have a slightly more narrow foot, or you found the same kind of problem with other CrossFit shoes, I would seriously give these a try. I haven't had a shoe that fit my foot this well since I used to wear Innovates, like way before CrossFit companies and brands like even became a thing. All right, let's talk about comfort, because homegirl cannot stand to be in a shoe that is uncomfortable. And don't get me wrong, every shoe takes a little bit of breaking in, right? Oddly enough, I was basically able to wear these all the time from the get-go and didn't really need to break them in much. The first thing I noticed in terms of comfort was that the sole feels really soft or like cushiony, like not squishy, and they are flat. They are like built like a flat CrossFit shoe, so you don't need to worry about like, you know, a big gel heel or something like that you'd find in a running shoe, but they just felt like soft, and it suddenly made me realize how hard and flat like all of my other CrossFit shoes are. The second thing I noticed is that I could actually run in them. Okay, story time. Back in 2017, I ran the New York City Marathon. I know, right? What was I thinking? No, actually, it was the coolest thing I've ever done. If you've never done it, highly recommend just like checking it off your bucket list. But either way, when I was training, I started running a lot, obviously. And I found that the more I ran and the more I trained and the more miles I put on my body, the thicker, more cushiony of a running shoe I needed. So ever since then, when my body got really accustomed to running any sort of mileage in running shoes, I haven't been able to run in CrossFit shoes. So when we have Metcons at the gym that have like basically anything more than like an 800-meter run, I'm constantly bringing my running shoes or wadding in my running shoes or slipping into them or something. So when I first put on the Tribase Reign 2s and noticed how cushy they felt, I kind of thought I wanted to give it a try. I ended up running 3 miles in them in my first Metcon at the gym. And I was nervous and like worried that the next day I was still gonna be able to get out of bed and go down the stairs, and lo and behold, I was fine. So for that reason, this shoe quickly became my sort of like #1 all-around CrossFit shoe, because I know I can run, but they're flat enough and accommodating enough to really be good for all sorts of Olympic lifting or other things that we do in Metcons and at the gym. And the reason I'm saying this now is because I've had a chance to wear them for months. I didn't want to just like, put them on my feet in January and then get on the YouTube and be like, yeah, they fit great. I don't know, I'll see you later. Like, the fact that I've been wearing them day in and day out for several months now makes me feel like I have a little bit of a backstory to tell and a little bit of an ability to really give a review. Because any shoe can be comfortable for short term, but once you put them to the test, that's when you can really start talking about, how they affect your body. Are you sore later? Are they durable? And yes to all those things. They seem really durable. I'm not sore, especially when I run, which used to be my big limiting factor. And at the end of the day, like, I'm not finding myself really going for any other shoe lately, unless I'm only doing Olympic lifting and I want to put on a lifting shoe, or I'm doing like a straight run with no CrossFit involved, in which case I'd put on a running shoe. The last thing I want to talk about is just that they're cute. Right? Honestly, it's the last thing on my list when it comes to picking a good shoe, a shoe that's gonna work for me. But I do like to put together a good CrossFit outfit. And I have a ton of different shoes in different colorways. I kind of am a little bit of a collector for that reason. Colorway is on point. I find myself sort of wearing them casually sometimes too, which I don't really do, honestly. I also have them in black and red, which I really like, a little bit more of a unisex colorway. I like the construction. I like that they are they remind me almost like of a Ked, or like of a shoe that you really could wear casually, a sneaker you could wear casually, because they're like low profile and they just, I don't know, they go well with jeans or with a casual look too. So there you have it. After a few months of really putting these shoes to the test, I can say that they are my #1 go-to CrossFit shoe right now. Honestly, mainly for the fit and the comfort, the fact that, they're a little bit more narrow, or they accommodate a more narrow, more feminine foot. The fact that I can run in them and I don't get sore because they're super flat and stiff the way some of my other CrossFit shoes are, and because they're cute and I think they're really good value. They're gonna run you about $120, though I have seen them online on sale for like $100 or down to $90 or $80 sometimes. Keep an eye on Joel's page, because he usually knows when the sweet deals are coming. And let me know what else you'd like a female's perspective review on. Like, subscribe, comment, write in the comments what else you want to see, all that usual stuff. And we will see you next time.